Hi, my name is Geneva, CEO of Bowlus, and today we have a very special treat in the showroom. We have a 2016 Bowlus Road Chief. Now this Bowlus Road Chief is part of our certified pre-owned program. Very excited to tell you all about that. Reads more like an object than a product, so it's like buying a classic aircraft. It's luxury that's been out there and performed for over a decade. And that's how Bowlus designs. It designs to be repaired and restored, and that comes from that love of being the original riveted aluminum travel trailer. That comes from my personal love of restoring that 1935 Bowlus, and that being the spark that brought this brand back to life over 15 years ago. First, let's get started all about the Bowlus in case you've never heard of it before. So Bowlus is the original riveted aluminum travel trailer. The Bowlus company started in 1929 and it predates all other aluminum travel trailers. This is the original. Now in the modern era, Bowlus has been producing for over 15 years, and we were so excited to get in this 2016 Bowlus Road Chief on trade. Now this is a really special Road Chief because, let's face it, it's a 10-year-old RV. Now, most RV dealers would not even be taking a 10-year-old RV on trade, never mind offering as certified pre-owned, giving it a warranty, reconditioning it to like new specifications. And when we go through the full walkthrough of this 2016 Bowlus Road Chief, you'll really appreciate how beautiful it still is, both inside and out, and all of the amazing features that it has in it for your perfect next adventure. Let's talk a little bit more about certified pre-owned. So Bowlus is the only RV manufacturer that does certified pre-owned, and we do this because the Bowlus is so well built that we know we can recondition that to like new specifications, certify it with a warranty, and a few other treats inside. So let's talk about that. Certified pre-owned first comes with a 1-year certified pre-owned warranty. It goes through reconditioning with the same technicians that originally built the Bowlus over a decade ago. It includes access to our mobile technician network, and it comes with 1 year of roadside assistance and 24/7 technical support that can be extended after that as well. Let's talk about base specifications here. This Bowlus Road Chief is 23 feet 9 inches in length. It has a dry weight of 2,300 pounds and a GVWR of 3,000 pounds. Now that is towable by a huge variety of tow vehicles. This is even lighter than anything we currently have in our 2026 model lineup. A few things to know about this Bowlus before we get started is, of course, this is a 2016 Bowlus. There are aesthetic and cosmetic things to note about it, like small scratches both inside and out. Now let's flip this camera around and get started on a full walkthrough of this 2016 Bowlus Road Chief. So I'm going to start on the tail today. Some other specs worth noting. So we have that exterior width at 80 inches wide, which is going to be the same width as your tow vehicle. So like all other Bowluses, this Road Chief's going to follow in the tire treads of your tow vehicle, be incredibly easy to drive, have that same drivability, low center of gravity, good handling, no flat sides. All of those things are what you're going to be looking for in an RV. It has an interior height of 6'4" and an exterior height of 8'3". And I have it here next to, our rivet on this side and our endless highways on the other side. And so you could probably appreciate the difference in ground clearance as well. Still having really great ground clearance, but obviously not a lifted axle like we make. A little bit about the battery system. So this has a 210 amp hour lead acid battery, a 1,000 watt modified sine wave inverter, So it's going to be different from our modern Bowluses in that it's not meant for as extensive off-grid time. But that said, you know, it still does have a solar port. And in fact, a 120 watt solar panel, portable solar panel, does come with this Bowlus Road Chief as well. And I'll go through that. In terms of water capacity, this has a 19-gallon fresh water tank, 21-gallon gray water tank, that 4.5-gallon cassette toilet system, and we still have that hydronic heating system. So this is a perfect Four Seasons RV as well. And you can kind of start to peek inside, and I see some real birch wood inside there, as well as a really beautiful red rock sunset color theme. So there's a few other special Easter eggs in here to go through. So we'll start here on the tail. So you have that older style Bowlus bumper, older style LED tail lights here. But that same beautiful tail, fixed windows in the bedroom, as well as sliding windows, and all of those are going to be polycarbonate. And then we've got the emergency exit on this side, which is going to be on the shower and the toilet. This does have a wet bath. And over here we have the shore power, 30 amp shore power, as well as the solar inputs housed inside here. We have hand crank stabilizers in the rear. And you can also put a bit on the end of a handheld drill if you wanted to make those a bit more automatic. You can link over to my video. And then over this direction, you're going to find a cassette toilet. We use a same style cassette system, but it's slightly different because this is obviously older model year. So open the same way in the same style hatch. And this also has the German fan system that's built in. And what that does is when you are flushing, it makes sure to keep all of the air in the cassette toilet so there's no odors like there may be for other toilet systems, especially black water systems. And so Bowlus has always chosen to use a cassette toilet on purpose, and that's because it's just so much more hygienic. So you're dumping this into a toilet, into a porta potty, into a sewer clean out. You're not interacting with anyone else's waste. You're not interacting with your own waste either, but you're not dealing with things like the stinky slinky that need to be flushed. You're not dealing with macerators or pyramids or any of those other horrible things that you can go and have a deep Google about or YouTube about online. And so that cassette toilet just slides out like our other model, fully out, and then you have that German fan system right there where you can see the green top. That just pops out, and then you're emptying into the toilet from here. Same style as our other one, and I'll link to my cassette emptying video here so you can see the full process. It slides back in, and then this door is fully shut. While I'm down here, you can see the different style in the tires. So these are our highway run tires with the fender skirt and the Bowlus Road Chief badging. This is obviously different from the adventure package that's on our current offering, and having those right next to each other right here makes it easy to see that difference. We still have that full monocoque design, so I'll take a minute to just talk about how we build differently, and you'll see that as we go under. So we use the 2024 T3 aluminum, which is aircraft grade aluminum. So same thing planes are built from, and then we use aircraft grade hand bucked rivets. And so that's aircraft grade spacing, and that's what completes that Bowlus shape, of course, as well as the Bowlus strength. And so what it means is that all of the strength is coming from the exterior panels rather than the frame itself, but it allows it to be incredibly strong while also being lightweight. So this is why this Bowlus Road Chief has a GVWR of 3,000 pounds, which is just incredibly lightweight for an almost 25-foot RV. As we head over to this side, we have those windows as well. And we have the awning rail up here. And this Bowlus has a slightly different style awning, which I'll be able to show you when we go inside, and I'll also link a picture to it here. Still uses that hydronic heating system, so you'll see that exhaust right here. This is going to be the air conditioner exhaust. Again, all Bowluses have air conditioning, but we don't put it on the roof for aerodynamic reasons. We want that aerodynamics to be really spectacular, and so that means you'll find it in a slightly different place. This Road Chief has the outdoor table bracket, and that's going to be right here. And so there's an outdoor table that can lock into the bracket out here, which we have on our Endless Highways series currently. But that's a fun feature to see on this 2016. We have an ASME propane tank, and this is a 28-pound ASME propane tank, so it's slightly different from the propane system we currently offer in that it is inside the body. And so when you're ready to fill this propane tank, you do need to take your Bowlus to the propane fill tank station. This is on a lot of Class B and Class C vans. And, you know, obviously this was changed in later model years to allow more exterior storage, but the ASME propane tank is larger than the propane tanks we currently offer and incredibly efficient. And so the propane tank is going to power your heating system, which also does your hot water, and we'll talk about that when we go inside, and that's that amazing hydronic heating system. This Bowlus also does have heated floors, and then this also is going to power the propane cooktop as well, which I'll show you when we get inside. And coming back up, we still have those polycarbonate windows. All the windows along the living room are going to slide open on both sides, and the awning can go on both sides as well. Now we're coming along to the front hitch. We're using a 2-inch ball, safety cables, breakaway switch. You're going to be able to hitch up in under a minute here. We have that jockey wheel on the front that also shows what your tongue weight is in kilograms, and so that's great for when you're getting loaded. So this is showing a tongue weight of, for example, about 110 kilos right now, which means it can be towed by a huge variety of tow vehicles. You have that really streamlined profile, same width as your tow vehicle. And you'll see all of the storage is down low. Low center of gravity translates to good handling in a lightweight trailer, and that's really important. And then on the hitch, you have that screen door. Now the screen door is a limited edition feature that is only available on our Endless Highways Frontier Edition, but it is on this 2016 Bowlus, and you can just really appreciate how much work goes into this screen door. You know, it's curved in both directions, top to bottom and port to starboard. You have that beautiful brass screen. And in fact, this door takes almost as long, or actually maybe even longer to build than many entire RVs on the market. So it really is a beautiful piece of art, and excited to see it on this 2016 Bowlus. Otherwise, you have that beautiful jockey wheel. The same is true of this Bowlus, is that you can move it around by hand. You have that low tongue weight, very easy to maneuver, and that's why we put that handle up there. You'll see there's a step light right here. You have the step here as well. And then all commercial grade locks are going to be here, especially in the deadbolt. And then we're ready to go inside with the aid of the handle here too. So let's go inside. So we're entering inside now, and we have that same floor plan. So we have the kitchen, the living room, bathroom and closet, and then bedroom. And as you step into this 2016, you can really just appreciate with those beautiful materials and how well they hold up over time. You know, this Bowlus has been well loved, been on many wonderful adventures for the last decade, and it still looks, you know, I feel confident saying just as beautiful as the day it was delivered. You can appreciate that birch wood, that polished aluminum exterior. We were able to give this a polish we were able to give this an exterior polish as part of that reconditioning package that's included in the certified pre-owned. So it's shining, it looks brand new, it's ready for its next adventure. And that's really all about how we build. And so we build with this idea that these are modern heirlooms. They're meant to be pass down. They're meant to continue use over time. They may of course need reconditioning as owners use them over time, but this is a different way to build an RV. And I was just so excited to have this owner trade into our larger model and be able to just show how well these Bowluses can be used over time, but then also how they can have a wonderful, exciting second life for that next owner. There was only one previous owner for this Bowlus who just treated it so beautifully, and so that's really reflected inside the condition as well. Like I said, a few cosmetic scratches and signs of wear, of course, but still a really beautiful example. And so you have the stainless steel countertops here in the galley on both sides. And then over on this side, you're going to have the propane cooktop, 2-burner, and that does have the top cover. So you can use this additional space for prep when that's closed and of course not hot. You have the shelves up above, the marine style LED lighting, and as I go down, you have the fridge with freezer. It's the freezer up top. Storage here. You have this is the step light right there. Outlets. Now outlets are going to be done a little bit differently in a 2016. There's one inverter outlet, which is in the charging station, which I'll show you, but otherwise your outlets are going to obviously be powered when you're plugged into shore power. Everything does work on 15 amps, same as our modern Bowlus, so you're still able to run your air conditioning when you're plugged in. But unlike our modern offering, the air conditioner is not going to be able to run off of the batteries. Not all of the outlets are going to be live off the batteries as well, just that single one in the charging station. And so a little bit different use in terms of off-grid timing, but still a wonderful unit to take off-grid, just with some different considerations while you're doing so. That Honda 2200 watt generator is going to be a good pick if you're looking to run air conditioning and all of the outlets while you're off-grid, so that might be a consideration for you as well. You have a drawer here. And all of our drawers are going to be hard pull, soft close. And I'm just loving going through all of these features because you can just appreciate how with the right materials, they just stand the test of time. Outlet, sink, faucet does extend. And then storage here. Microwave. This does have the L-track system, so this is great for securing gear. Down the middle, you'll have this between each room. So here between the kitchen and the living room and the bathroom, and the bathroom and the bedroom. So that gives you a lot of flexibility for long gear, surfboards, bikes, anything like that can come inside. You also have these beautiful vents at the high point. And so, I mentioned that this unit doesn't have air conditioning that runs off the battery. But, with a Bowlus, you have such great cross ventilation. You have that screen door on this unit as well. You have the windows on either side, which open both in the living room and in the bedroom. And then you have the vents at the high point. And so really comfortable at warmer temperatures. Those open by twisting that here and pushing that vent open and closed. This one is going to do both of these at the same time. And then the vent in the bathroom. And then in the living room, I'll sit down now and go through here. So we have this beautiful Red Rock Sunset color theme. This is Ultra Fabrics, which is a Japanese fabric, and it just handles so well. So, you know, any sort of pets that might be using this Bowlus, no issue with claw marks, just has really fantastic wear, and of course is in a really fun red color as well. Those sliding windows, which go the whole length of the living room on either side, and those open with the brass screens. Reading lights up above in that marine style with LED. And curtains. And then you're going to find your storage down low. So you'll have 5 drawers in the living room. All aluminum drawers. So you can appreciate just how sturdy these are. You'll see that some of them do have a little bit of wear, just in terms of cosmetic markings. And this side does convert into a bed. So the insert would go here, and these cushions would slide together with these armrests. The table would come up and out in order to convert that. And then you do have an outlet otherwise under the bed with the distribution box here as well. And of course, manuals, etc. And then going over to the other side, we have that sofa side, 6'1" in length, very comfortable. And this Road Chief has the very comfortable. And then you have 3 drawers that go the full length of the sofa underneath for additional storage. And same style as the ones that I opened under the dinette. Underneath the drawers, you'll see under the drawers, you'll see our hydronic heating system radiators. And this Bowlus also has heated floors. So in the floor, it's routered, and that antifreeze is routered underneath the floor with a layer of metal over top to dissipate that heat. And it's really toasty on a winter day. So that's quite fabulous. We're using a really high quality floor product as well. You can appreciate how well it's held up. You can appreciate how well it's held up over the last decade. And of course it matches that beautiful birch wood that we can see on the full interior of this Bowlus Road Chief. And of course the sofa side does turn into a bed as well, so this Bowlus sleeps 4. Now as we go back towards the bathroom, we'll see the charging station. Now this is an older style charging station, but it slides open like that, and then you can put laptops or tablets in here, and then you'll see that hole back there. You can feed through your cord, and that goes directly into the inverter outlet. And that inverter outlet means that that's how you can charge your devices off of the battery there. Now I'll head into the bathroom and show you how this door system works. So the bathroom for this Bowlus is going to be a wet style bathroom. And so I'll show you how to expand the bathroom. First, I'm going to open this closet door. That's going to go towards the bedroom. And then I'm going to open this closet door. That's also going to go towards the bedroom. I'm going to step into the bathroom and open this door towards the living room. So now I'm in the bathroom, and like I said, it's a wet style shower, so you'll have the toilet here, and then when you're ready to use the shower, which is over here, you would sit down in the shower. You have that emergency exit behind you, so this can go out through the emergency exit for an outdoor shower. So when you're ready to shower, and I'll just sit down in the shower now to show you what that would look like. So when you're ready to shower, you would sit down in the shower, and the shower curtain is going to work by hooking onto these hooks here. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to create a wider shower curtain at the top that then comes down with a metal bar and gets tucked in right here. And you'll see that metal bar that I'm touching right there, that just slides right into the bottom of the shower curtain. And that way all of the water gets directed down into the shower pan. And you know, it's a comfortable shower sitting down here. I've got the Italian shower head right here. And of course, like a wet shower, you would be removing any of the toilet paper, and that toilet would be right next to you. But obviously you're not sitting on it like you would be in many traditional wet baths. And this does rotate as well if you need a little bit more space. Now, while I'm here, on the other side, you have the storage closet. And so you have a hanging rod. And that hanging rod can go up and then get latched in depending on how you want it to be, or it can be folded completely down. And we have that suitcase style solar panel in here, which is included with this Road Chief. And that plugged into the plug that I showed you outside, and it would set up just outside right on the ground. This is going to be the glycol fill tank there. You'll also see a mirror. And then over here on the vanity, you'll have the stainless steel countertops with the vanity sink, place for hand washing, teeth brushing, and then lots of storage behind. And here is going to be your inverter panel. So it will say, here it will say inverted when not on shore power. So this is going to be the outlet that works off of the inverter, and that's a 1,000-watt inverter. And then when you're plugged into shore power like we are now, all of your other outlets are going to work as well. You also have USB charging here. That's where your cord is going to come in through that charging station we saw in the living room. And then we do have a cell booster. That's going to turn on by turning it on right there. And that's going to boost your cell signal inside. Which is also great if you plan on using a hotspot. Of course, if you plan on using a Starlink or something like that, that could be plugged into one of the outlets and run outside. You also have more storage behind here, and that is natural light coming in from outside. So there's a skylight right there behind what we call the moon frame. And then sink plug, air conditioning remote. And then there is a light here as well. You'll find all your monitoring panels here. So this is going to be the heater panel, setting heat, deciding what you want it to run off of, electrical or propane, what temperature, if you want hot water, etc. So this is that hydronic heating system that's heating both the hot water and circulating the glycol throughout for heating. This Bowlus is built exactly the same way in that it's made for 4-season camping. So we have that force fit poly iso on the outside. We have the freshwater tank inside. We have the PEX lines inside. And we have that fantastic hydronic heating system. So it's meant to be used in the winter as well, or in cold weather. So just a consideration. Over here, this is going to be the inverter panel. This is going to be the inverter panel. Right now we're plugged into shore power, so it's going to be charging the battery. And then over here, we're going to have the tank monitoring panel. This is where your fresh water pump would be, so to turn it on. And then you'll also be able to access the freshwater tank, the gray water tank, the propane tank, and then the black water tank, which is your cassette toilet. I'll show you how that will go, but this will just read open, so that won't be monitoring that. And then your battery will also monitor your battery level here, and there's a helpful chart in the manual to tell you how to read that. And so back over to the cassette. The cassette works by the flush valve underneath. So that is going to open and close the valve to put any waste into the cassette toilet system. You then have the blue button, which is going to add water into the bowl to rinse the bowl. And then when it's ready to be dumped, this will light up, telling you there's a few uses left. And then it's a good time to empty it. Emergency exit here. And now let's show you inside the bedroom. So that beautiful birch wood surrounds the interior of the bedroom, which is just so beautiful. This Bowlus has the twin bed configuration, which is great. And then you have these sliding windows on either side here, of course with curtains. So those are going to slide open. Beautiful brass screens. Towards the foot of the bed, these are going to be fixed. I put in the wood blind there just so you could see what that would look like. At the foot of the bed, you have a heater booster fan right here, and that's the rocker switch to turn that on and off, as well as a fan at the foot of the bed. And then behind that fan is going to be that air bleed valve for the hydronic heating system. And that just pulls out like that. And then we've got the same window on this side. And then down below, you have some storage under the bed. So that has the thumb lock right there. And then underneath, you have that pretty ample under bed storage. So great for bulkier gear. And then you have an outlet on this side. And then you have that battery disconnect right there. So really beautiful example of a 2016 Bowlus Road Chief. Thank you so much for joining us for this full walkthrough of the 2016 Bowlus Road Chief. You know, this 2016's lived a life, so it's been to campsites, it's handled weather, it's handled snow, stored gear, traveled roads. It's luxury that's been out there and performed for over a decade. And that aluminum shell ages like a classic. So other aluminum made travel trailers, fiberglass, composite RVs can feel pretty dated quickly, and that Bowlus aluminum reads more like an object than a product. So it's like buying a classic aircraft inspired design rather than a disposable RV. So, you know, this trailer's been on the road for 10 years and still has a lot of life left to live. And we talked about that at the beginning. That's how Bowlus designs. It designs to be repaired and restored, and that comes from that love of being the original riveted aluminum travel trailer. That comes from my personal love of restoring that 1935 Bowlus, and that being the spark that brought this brand back to life over 15 years ago. And so, you know, like every Bowlus, this trailer still deserves that spotlight. It's curated, it's inspected, and fully worthy of that Bowlus name. It has that, you know, single owner, incredibly well kept energy. And so you're inheriting something that's really been cherished. And this is certainly an entry point into Bowlus without compromising the experience. Certified pre-owned is a great option for buyers who want the Bowlus quality, but don't necessarily need the newest specifications sheet. So it's the same design philosophy, it's the same craftsmanship, that same beautiful design, which you can really appreciate. Another thing about certified pre-owned that's special is it allows you to skip those build timelines that we have on our new product offering and start traveling now. So you don't have to wait, you know, the 6 to 12 months to start your adventure. You could be traveling as soon as this weekend, which is very exciting. And then this exact specification doesn't exist anymore. Older years sometimes have configurations, finishes that make them rare and very desirable, and I certainly think that's true of this specific 2016 Bowlus, and that patina of ownership is part of that romance for me. There's something cool about knowing that it's lived a beautiful life and that you're ready to give it that second life of adventure. Again, built like an heirloom, long-term relevancy, resale, and desirability. So, you know, this isn't a trailer you use up, it's one that you pass along, and that's certainly true of our entire Bowlus lineup. It's really the opposite of that disposable RV culture that you see in almost every other RV, including other aluminum travel trailers. So it's about, you know, buying fewer, buying better, and keeping that longer. And so really excited to be able to show you what we were doing over a decade ago, both how advanced the Bowlus was now and then how much that timeless classic design stays. And so I hope you'll consider this 2016 Bowlus. Feel free to drop any questions in the comments, give our sales team a call, and we will look forward to answering your questions. Thank you so much.